launching a brand new documentary based on NASCAR race car driver Josh Bilicki. First, we'd like to introduce NASCAR race car driver number 78, Ziegler-sponsored Live Fast, Josh Bilicki. Josh, welcome to the show.
Sam, thank you for having me. It's always enjoyable to be here.
Man, it's exciting to be here. It's exciting to be here on a live stream on this Thursday night. Also with us, Joey Lax Salinas, Emmy Award-winning documentarian and current member of Team Ziegler Auto Group at our stores in the Chicagoland. Joey.
Hey, what's happening? Glad to be here.
This is awesome. We're all coming from our individual places. We're ready to watch this documentary. Joey, we are so grateful that you decided to put this together. Let's start here. Joey, you had this idea of giving your audience a behind-the-scenes look at NASCAR. Why was behind the scenes of NASCAR appealing to you?
Well, going behind the scenes at NASCAR is not something that anybody can just go and do. So once I kind of found out I had a little bit of unprecedented access to being in the pits and being behind the track over by the trailers and just kind of hanging out with Josh, I was all in. I myself had never been to a NASCAR race, so this was a first for me. So to be at a NASCAR race for the very first time and to be down in the pit and seeing all the ins and outs from the beginning to the end was a thrill for me. So I can imagine it would be a thrill for anybody else also.
So, Josh, you are about to start the 23-24 NASCAR season, and the number on the outside of your car is no longer 77. That was Spire. You are now part of Live Fast. It's car number 78. You're going in sequence. Next year, will it be 79? Who knows? But the race that Joey chose and selected to highlight as part of this documentary is a special one, both to you and to Team Ziegler. Tell our fans a little bit about what made this race unique.
Yeah, so the race that he chose was the Michigan race, which is very near to your headquarters. And what really made the race unique is not only did we have 75 plus Ziegler members there, we also had Michigan State University on the car. So it was a collaboration effort, and we had two legendary coaches there as well, which was really neat for me to be able to spend some time with those guys and to have their enthusiasm there at the track with us was really cool. They were the grand marshals, so they I'm pretty sure they gave the command to start your engines. It was really neat to be a part of that entire process. It was a lot of fun, and it was a cool race to be at.
So for those who have seen you at a NASCAR race, you walk around and you think you get, people are always asking for your autograph. They're coming up and just excited to meet a NASCAR driver. How was it meeting Mel Tucker and Tom Izzo, rock stars in their own right in the state of Michigan? Granted, on the wrong side of the state, as close to Ann Arbor as we are at MIS, but it was incredible, all the people and the excitement that was created by them being there, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sam, and roles were reversed. I mean, I was the one going up to them, asking them for pictures and autographs. It was really cool, but they were the superstars. I mean, people will look past the NASCAR drivers and look right at them. So it was pretty cool to see them kind of out of their element, and they share their thoughts in the video that NASCAR was truly unique. It's unlike any other sport out there.
So, Joey, we're about to launch this live premiere here in just moments, but one last question. Sure. Was there ever a moment on that day at MIS where you thought, oh, no, everybody's gathered, we've got all of our equipment out, and will there be a race? You're going to see this, race fans, in just a minute. But, Joey, what was that moment?
Sure. Well, yeah, I mean, we knew that there was already going to be a chance for rain. We were just kind of watching the clouds a little bit all day. I know Josh was watching the clouds, and we were back in the trailer watching the radar, and then we were out on the track, and suddenly we started feeling the sprinkles. I think all of us hustled back to our places, and we went back to Josh's trailer. Some of us went back to our suites to take cover because it ended up turning into quite a downpour. So that was another unique experience. It was actually pretty cool to be able to capture that, because I know that's not it's not that it's uncommon, but it's doesn't happen in every race. So it was kind of nice to see, hey, what happens when we get a downpour. So I learned a lot. I didn't know that they had like truck vacuum cleaners that kind of suck up the water on the track. And Josh taught me a little bit in the trailer, as far as what they do, and he talks about that in the video also. So yeah, there was a couple moments like that. But all in all, I mean, everything went well and went smoothly. No equipment was damaged or wetting or nothing like that. Everything was all good.
All right. Well, race fans, NASCAR fans, Josh Bilicki fans, Ziegler Auto Group fans everywhere. Are we ready? Let's get this thing going. We now give you, on behalf of NASCAR race car driver Josh Bilicki and director, editor, producer Joey Lax Salinas, Emmy award-winning documentarian, we give you now Day in the Life of NASCAR driver Josh Bilicki.
I got you, buddy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who's driving our cart for everybody that wants to have this experience but can't be here today? Tori, right?
Tori is the manager of the 77.
I'm not even sure manager is the right word. Tori is like all things to everybody. And she just got yelled at for driving where she shouldn't have driven.
I got yelled at for driving.
And Josh got yelled at.
My car and the driver owner.
And by the way, the cool moment of today was Tori turning and saying, well, he's a NASCAR race car driver, for God's sake. Leave him alone.
So we are right now going to the Acceleration Club. Acceleration Club is basically a big tent, almost like a suite, and there are 50 plus Ziegler employees there. So we're gonna go do a meet and greet, sign some autographs, see them before we get really busy with the race. They moved the schedule up, so we got a little bit of a crunch time though that we can make this happen. But we have 2 stops today. First one is the Acceleration Club. Second one's the suite inside the track. That's where Mel Tucker, Tom Izzo, Aaron Ziegler are going to be. So we're excited for a busy day here. Our day doesn't begin when we take the green flag. Our day begins several hours in advance. First time with this new car that we're racing this track, we just unloaded a little bit off. We were tight. Basically, the car wasn't turning how I wanted it to. So we're making a pretty big change. And all our data, our simulation, all the computer work the guys did in the shop yesterday or last night says it's going to work. Sometimes the simulation can be a little bit off, though. We found that this year, so we're taking a chance. We're hopeful that it's going to work.
So those, Josh, are all the tangibles. Those are the things you can control and you have to do it. There's a little bit of luck. So today you have Tom Izzo and you have Mel Tucker, the 2 most infamous coaches in athletics and sports. All you got to do is high five them, handshake, ask for their, get them to put hands on the car or something like that. And that P19.
I was fortunate to meet both of them on Friday. Friday.
Yeah.
And just talking to Tom and Mel, it was amazing. I mean, Tom was amazed by the car. I wanted to ask him more questions. He asked me so many questions about the car and the interior. We took the car to the MSC headquarters. So Tom was amazed how small the interior of the car is. I mean, these cars, they're big, heavy cars, but inside, you feel claustrophobic.
You shared with us on the podcast that you actually think he's claustrophobic.
He said
he wouldn't get in the
He
car.
told me that. He told me that. I asked him, I said, you can get in the car if you want, but it's so tight getting in and out. These cars have doors. So you crawl through the window. We have the big seat with the big headrest, so you don't just slide in. You have to work your body around the headrest, and the steering wheel comes off. And one thing he did not like was I told him, I said, the steering wheel detaches. If there's a mechanical problem with the steering wheel, the detachment tool, you can't get out. You physically cannot get out of the car if the steering wheel's stuck on. Now, knock on wood, that's never happened in NASCAR. The steering wheel has never been able to not come off. But if it would, that'd be a little scary because you were so tight, everything's so tight in there, and the seat wraps around you, you can't just roll out of the seat. I mean, you literally have containment. So we're pulling a lot of G's around this track. Everything is built inside the car to support my body.
I know.
Hell yeah! How are you doing?
Good, man.
Good to see you again. And me and my friend Jesse snuck in. We snuck into some of these suites. We snuck into suites up there. Remember, it was dark. Nobody was here. And 9 years later, we're in the Cup Series race here.
It's because we camped here in the trailer.
Yeah.
We stayed inside the track at night.
Yeah, that was fun. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. 9 years ago. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm actually walking to the hauler. I'll give you guys a quick tour of the hauler, and then I meet with my team. I eat, but I meet with my team. We made a very big change after qualifying. A big change. So I'm just gonna show you the room real quick. I am mic'd up, guys, just so you know. I'm just showing him the room real quick.
What's up, guys?
This is more or less our engineering area during the race weekend. The other one was geared towards hospitality. This is a little bit more geared towards strategy meetings with my crew chief, engineer.
It's super serious up there.
It is super serious. My teammate Corey.
Seriously.
You guys look like you're changing the world right now.
We're creating a plan.
We are.
That's what we're doing. So.
Oh, we got a plan. Now we just got to go see if it'll work.
All right, guys, so enjoy the party. The drivers are starting to arrive. Feel free to say hello, ask them a little bit about what they do. For some of you new to NASCAR, enjoy.
Hey, Michiganders! Today is a blessed day. Our ancestors are looking down on us all with happiness. It's an honor to be here today on behalf of the great nation of the Nottawissapi Huron Band of the Potawatomi. Let's get racing!
Starting 35th from Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, in the number 77 Michigan State Ziegler Auto Chevrolet, Josh Bilicki.
Well, when this works, you'll see the radar.
Yeah.
This is the radar.
Ours isn't working either.
And it works for like a minute, then it stops. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all.
If you look north, it's black.
Yeah.
So Josh, if we get back out there, how does the weather change your strategy?
20 minutes longer to get ready.
So
Oh, that's good.
you can have a different strategy if you think you're racing to the halfway point. Like if they go green and there's more rain in the forecast, but we have an hour and a half until it hits, you might not think you're going to race the whole race. So your strategy might change, which affects your pit stops, when you pit, tire strategy. So I guess the weather just kind of dictates that, the radar. Sometimes you make a guess, and sometimes it's accurate, or sometimes it's not. You know, if you're racing to what you think is halfway, and then you keep going, it can hurt you, or vice versa. If you don't think you're racing to halfway, and if the radar looks clear, the cell forms, that can also hurt you. So the track conditions are going to be a little bit different too. This is the first time it rained all week, so the track is kind of back to what we call it a green track. There's not a lot of rubber on the track. It's kind of been washed away. So the track's probably going to be pretty fast here right away. And if it stays cloudy, I don't really know what the track's going to do, to be honest. The track kind of needs heat for some of the PJ1 to work. PJ1 is the sticky stuff they put in the top lane. You can see there's like a, well, that's a bad image because it's all dark. The PJ1 is, it's just spray that they spray in the top lane of the track. And it's like, if you ever spray Coke on the floor, you step in it, it's sticky. That's almost what the PJ1 does, but it lasts long. So there's extra grip up there, but it needs heat to activate. So with it being cloudy right now and it just rained, that PJ1's not in yet. So I don't know, lots of unknowns, but we're all in the same boat.
How does it affect the car specifically?
To be honest, we don't quite know yet. I imagine that the track's probably going to be a little loose right now. Yesterday, and I'm only saying that because I raced the race yesterday. My racing Xfinity Series race yesterday, and as the track got hotter, the car actually got tighter. So, with the track being a little bit cooler right now, it might be faster and grippier, but it might be a little bit looser too. I think we might start. I don't think we're going to get the whole thing in, but I think we'll start.
Starting is better than nothing.
Yes.
As long as the coaches can say when they
Yep. We get to halfway and it starts downpouring. they'll just say, all right, this is the end of the race. If we only get to a quarter of the way in, we need to come back tomorrow and finish the race.
Okay, got it.
Do
And then
you start in the same positions you started today, or where you left off?
You would start where you left off.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Michigan International Speedway getting ready to go for 400 miles here. Ziegler Auto Group, Michigan State on the hood. Car looks awesome. Both coaches gonna stay driver start your engine here pretty soon. A little bit of a rain delay, so we're about half an hour behind schedule, maybe a little bit more than that, but good news is there is sun out, the track is dry, so I think we're gonna get this thing in today.
Drivers, start your engines! Go green!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I just want to go down the door stop and stop back up to the run. 4, 3, 2, 1. Wheel straight. Alright, all the way up. Do not speed. Do not speed. Good job, everybody. That's a good day. Real good day. Great point today. Nice work. Good job, everybody.
How do you feel, buddy?
Felt good.
It was a good race.
It was a good race. Net gain of 14 spots, I think.
That's awesome.
We needed that point save for sure.
That's awesome.
And the car doesn't have a scratch.
No, that was
I know.
great.
I get it from some people saying you can just go out there and beat the hell out of the car. But we are a small team, so when we have a good point state and the car's clean, that's huge. We've had a rough couple of weeks. Last week was a good week, but before that we had 4 bad weeks in a row. Kind of everything not our doing, like wrong place, wrong time. So to have 2 good weeks in a row, 22nd last week, and then with Ziegler.com on the car, and this week with MSU and Ziegler on the hood, P21, that's a good day for us. We're a small team. I mean, we finished 20th, the team with 5 times their employees. They finished 20th, we finished 21st, so not a bad day. Good weekend for us. I got my cheer wine. Usually my preference of drink after the race. I burned about 2,500 calories today, so I'll either drink a cheer wine, which they're not very well known up here, but it's basically a cherry soda, or I'll drink a Mountain Dew. A good day, yeah, P21. Great points day for us. We needed that after the last couple of weeks, so it was incredible to have Michigan State University here. Mel Tucker, Tom Izzo, they gave the command to start the race. That was really cool to hear that. And I mean, to come home P21 in front of the MSU Ziegler audience who was here, I mean, we had over 100 people here. Pretty good weekend, so thank you, the Ziegler Auto Group. Without you, without Aaron Ziegler, this would not be possible.
Well, Josh, congratulations. Pretty exciting, huh?
Thank you. Yeah.
So it's interesting. I had forgotten a lot of stuff. Like, for example, that I was even in the documentary. I know sometimes it's so exciting being on track that you forget where you are.
Yeah.
Josh, what memories does that bring back to you about that day at MIS? There really was adversity overcome.
Yeah, it brings back all the memories. And it's wild that you mentioned that, because I was thinking the same thing. The NASCAR Cup Series has 38 races throughout the year. And we race so much that, oftentimes you look back at Michigan and you forget everything that happened that day until you watch that video. And I mean, there was so much adversity. And our day doesn't start when we take the green flag. And I said that in the video. Our day starts hours before, and even hours before I went on camera. I was at the hotel. The first thing I did when I woke up is study video, study data. We don't just show up and drive the race car. There's a lot that goes on. And Joey, you did a fantastic job capturing that entire day. That was a busy day with almost 100 guests there, from Ziegler Auto Group and the MSU. that was a busy day. And yeah, we faced adversity with rain. I mean, we faced adversity with poor qualifying effort, and we came across and we took the checker flag with a lot of pride. So that was pretty cool.
Sure. And it was a hot day too. It was, I think it was like 92 and humid or something like that. It was
what was on the side of my face, Joey?
Man, you're sweating. I think you're sweating a little bit.
I must have been just sweating. You know what, Joey, impresses me about Josh, and I've been with him at many races, and you captured this so well. Not only is he a race car driver about ready to drive a race where you've got just a few hours once a week where it all is on the line. Talk to us, Joey, about what it was like being with Josh before the race. He's so calm.
Yeah,
he's so smooth. He's so laid back.
Yeah, I always feel like I have to walk a fine line because I wanna be as up close as possible, but I also don't want to mess up Josh's day. It's obviously a big day for him, and so I want to be right there, but also be out of his way. So it's just that fine line that you have to walk, and you just sometimes you're just playing things by ear and winging it, and we're on the move a lot. We're going to the suites, and then we're going to meet and greets, and we're driving around in the trailer, and we just have to be on the move. And it was a lot of fun. It was impressive to see all the things that Josh actually has to do before the game. I mean, I think that some people probably think that he wakes up and gets in the car, he drives to the track, and his car is ready, and it's drive up to the line and you get started. And it's a lot more than that. And I will also say, and credit to Josh, man, Josh is great with his fans. Oh my gosh, and I got so much footage of that. Just the interaction that you had with the fans. I mean, you really took the time to stop and give fist bumps and sign autographs and do everything. And you could have just kind of walked in and kind of had your blinders on and concentrated on what was coming up. But you were there for the fans, and I think it shows that Josh knows that the fans are there for him, and and he pays that back by giving the fans what they came for.
Well, thank you for that. That's awesome. The fans are the reason that we're at the track, and I always try to make time for the fans. So thank you.
So, Josh, what did it mean to you on that day at MIS to be representing two names, right? So the Ziegler Auto Group, you've long represented this past year, and then this upcoming year in the 78 car. Michigan State was a new addition, and it was exciting to have Tom Izzo, Mel Tucker there. What did it mean to represent two names at one race?
Well, I'm not going to lie. It added a little bit of pressure. Honestly, you have a lot of guests there from the Ziegler Auto Group, and now you have two legendary coaches and a lot of MSU fans at the track screaming, go green. It was pretty cool to have them at the track and hear all that extra support. And I still have social media comments to this day from fans that are, maybe not even huge NASCAR fans, but they saw our car and they followed us. So it was a lot of extra pressure actually for that race. And going back to what Joey said, you really take care of your fans and all your obligations prior to the race, but when the helmet goes on, that's when you're in game zone. You're in game mode when the helmet goes on. So NASCAR drivers have a really unique pre-race because there's a lot going on. Whether it's meet and greets, autograph sessions, but when the helmet goes on, that's when it's game day for us.
So, Joey, you did such a great job of capturing the relationship between Josh and his dad. And one of the things I'm learning about NASCAR that makes it unique is it is a bonding experience. It's a family experience. You go to the racetrack and you experience it together, and those are memories you have. We heard you and your dad remembering coming to MIS, Josh. Tell us about the family aspect of NASCAR.
Yeah, and that's something that I forgot about too. I actually raced there's a road course, a left and right track inside of MIS. And I raced there, 10 years ago now, in 2013. And I had forgotten that. So, my dad and I were kind of talking about that in the video. It was 9 years at the time when we took that video that we had been there. And my friend from high school came with me, and we actually snuck into the grandstands at night because we slept in our trailer. We had a 24-foot enclosed trailer that we slept at the racetrack in on an air mattress. And at night we walked through the tunnel into the grandstands, and we just hung out in the grandstands. I thought it was so cool at the time that we're racing at a NASCAR track. At the time, I didn't even really think about, maybe this is a possibility that I can race NASCAR here. I was set on, I wanted to make it a career, but that was really far-fetched for me at the time. So, kind of reminiscing about that with my dad was really cool. And here we are 9-10 years later, racing a NASCAR Cup Series race at that track. It blew our mind. So it was really cool that you touched on that, especially with my dad, because my dad and I, we traveled the world we traveled the country together growing up racing, and to see it pay off was really special. So it definitely is a family sport, whether you're a fan or a driver.
The other element that was well captured that I hope everybody recognizes is the pit stop. So seeing that Michigan State car come into that pit stop, Mel Tucker talks about knowing your job, doing your job. Tom Izzo talked about how impressive it was in NASCAR that everyone does that job and it creates that incredible result. It is a precision effort, Josh, isn't it?
Absolutely. And, when you think of a NASCAR team, a lot of people think about the driver, but there's so many different pieces, and every single team member has a unique role. And without that role and without that member, those pit stops don't happen. So, there's so much behind the scenes, and yeah, Joey did a great job capturing all that.
Thank you.
And congratulations to Michigan State, in particular, Tom Izzo and the basketball team. They were just announced and seeded into the NCAA tournament. Tom Izzo now stands as the top in terms of number of tournaments that Izzo's been in throughout his career. There's no other coach currently active that's done more. Props to him. It's kind of neat that on the heels of that announcement, your documentary, Joey, comes out, because it truly was neat being there with Michigan State and having that unique tie between the Ziegler Auto Group, Aaron Ziegler, Aaron's family and his commitment to that school, and the fact that you're able to represent that car in those colors. So last question, Joey, what's one thing that the audience may find interesting about creating a documentary, this one or anyone, that, what's something that most people don't know? And then the same to Josh.
Well, this one was unique. This one, it was 100% done by myself. So in a lot of cases, when you do a documentary, you have grips, which would be people like carrying equipment, maybe somebody that does audio, somebody that does lighting. So it was difficult to put all of this together, and I'm literally carrying my audio equipment, my any lighting that I would have, of course my camera, my gear, tripods, anything like that, and I'm just on the go. We're walking in the heat. That was probably the hardest part, but it's really difficult to do it when you're doing it as a one-man show. So again, I thank Josh for, allowing me the access, and the freedom to, kind of wander around and follow you around and stuff like that. But, that's probably the hardest stuff. And, of course, ahead of time, there's pre-production. When you go into a documentary like this, I didn't really have a story. I don't have a story until after I capture everything. I didn't know going into this that there would be a rain delay or that there would be this. So as I'm creating the documentary, I'm also thinking of what the story is in my head. And the story that I gathered was, it's Josh's big race, made some changes on the car, other things like that, the anticipation of, are we going to race or not? So yeah, a lot of it's putting the story together on the fly and putting it together in my head as I'm filming it.
And that's got to be one of the great things about documentary making. You ask a question, you see a topic, you see a picture in your mind, and you follow that story, as all good news tellers or storytellers do. And
Absolutely.
That story ultimately, in this case, led to Josh Bilicki. Josh, what's something interesting behind the scenes NASCAR that most people don't know? Maybe it was portrayed, maybe it wasn't in today's documentary.
Yeah, I think just showcasing that on race day, our day doesn't start when we take the green flag, it starts hours before. And, watching Joey's film, if I'm a fan watching Joey's film, not watching this video, I think that there's a whole production crew there. He did such a great job.
Yeah,
and knowing that it's just him himself, that's very impressive. And I do a little bit of film editing myself, so I know how difficult it is. I know how difficult it is to capture content. And I think the difference for this is you only get one shot. It's a busy day. There's not time to do 3, 4, 5 retakes. So
yeah, there's no do-overs.
I think that's what's unique, and you capture that whole day so perfect. So thank you
very much. Thank you.
Well, Joey Lax Salinas, Josh Bilicki, thank you for being here. To our entire audience, thanks for watching this production. Josh Bilicki, you're next up at COTA, Circuit of the Americas, Austin, Texas, in just a short, little over a week, where you'll debut there in the Cup Series in car number 78, Ziegler sponsored still. Live fast this time. We are so excited to see you take on the track. And Joey, we'll see you soon in additional up-and-coming productions. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Sam.